Hey there, my friend. It's me, Lori Nathurda, and I wanted to share with you today in the group of women that I meet with each Sunday, which is called the Relief Society. It's actually one of the largest and oldest organizations in the world, and it's called Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Relief Society. And what we talked about today is really something that I wanted to share because everybody, who doesn't want to be more happy? Who doesn't want to be more satisfied with their life? And the gal that taught it, Sister Brisbane, taught 15 ways to be happy. But what she did, rather than come up with ideas from the other sisters, which we did talk about, she talked about what the presidents and the prophets and the different leaders of the church have said through time. So I just wanted to share those with you because I think it can help you too. Number one is love your choice. Choose your love and love your choice. And that's a quote by Thomas S. Monson, who's the president of the church today. And that's just so important. Choose your love and love your choices that you make. Two is gain unshakable faith. Another way to be happy. Henry B. Eyring said, trouble itself can be your way to strengthen and finally gain unshakable faith. And what I found as we go through these quotes and these things that prophets and leaders have said is that struggle seems to come up a lot, and that refiner's fire. And I've been studying a little bit on that and reading a book. Here it is right here, actually. Noah St. John, Affirmations. That's just super, super good. Talking again about changing our perception of what a mistake or a failure or struggle, what it really is. It's a true blessing, strength and growth in your life. So, three, let me move on. Spend meaningful time with those you love. And isn't that what's important, huh? Let us resolve to cherish those we love by spending meaningful time with them, doing things together, and cultivating treasured memories. And I think the thing that came up a lot today was meaningful time together, too, not just spending time together. We talk about sometimes us husbands, I'm not married, but husbands and wives who are together in the same home throughout the day, maybe day in and day out for several days. And sometimes they joke about, oh, well, we spent time together. But the reality was, hey, did I even see you today, right? So spending meaningful time together is important when you choose to be in the present right with that person. Four, do with what you have. Happiness will depend on what each of us does with what each of us has. What we learn from, what we do, and what we do thereafter. So those are some important things to remember. Do with what you have. In other words, if you're given a blessing or you're given even a challenge, use it to your great advantage and share with others your talent so that they can increase, and your strengths, your weaknesses so they can become strength. Share your challenges and how you made it through so others can learn from that. And maybe when they hit the challenge, they'll already know, hey, this other person I know made it through, and it'll make it easier for them. Five, have faith in yourself. That seems like a big one to me. One of the greatest weaknesses in most of us is our lack of faith in ourselves. L. Tom Perry said. So we've got to believe in ourselves. And if that means we need to spend more time doing something that we really love, and we need to maybe learn something new so that we can gain some self-confidence in that area, then that's what we need to do. But we need to have faith in ourselves. We need to look at, definitely make a list of all the positive things you've done in your life, even if you have to go back and say, hey, I learned to ride a bike. I learned to eat with a spoon. I learned to walk. Each of you didn't give up on that. I'm grateful for that. Number six, maintain integrity. Inner peace comes only as we maintain the integrity of truth in all aspects of our lives. Integrity matters. It's very important. Seven, prioritize your desires. Desires dictate our priorities. Priorities shape our choices, and choices determine our actions. The desires we act on determines our changing, our achieving, and our becoming. I love that quote. That's by Dallin H. Oaks, and he's a matter-of-fact speaker, that's for sure. So Prioritize your desires. What is it that you really want to become? What is it that you really want to achieve? Number 8, remember what matters most. We should not need a hurricane or other crisis to remind us of what matters most. What matters most is what lasts longest. And I remember listening to The Strangest Secret. If you haven't heard that before by Earl Nightingale, I say pull that up and listen to that. It's on YouTube, and enjoy that, because he talks about the things that last are the things that we really take for granted, like our mind, like relationships, like our families, the things that are going to be there in the end. We can lose our fortune, we can lose our house in a fire, we can get all those things back without a problem, but things that really matter most, we need to think on. Number 9, be what you want to become. And this brings to mind the do be have thoughts on people. A lot of people think, well, when I have this, then I'll be happy, so I can do, etc., right? And this is saying, be first. Be what you want to become first. And be, and then you'll do what it is, and then you'll have. And it works in that order more clearly. So Richard G. Scott says, we become what we want to be by consistently being what we want to become each day. That's pretty clear cut, huh? Number 10, be kinder. Be kinder to one another and kinder to ourselves. Robert D. Hales, and that's important, that second part of that. Sometimes we don't love ourselves enough. And I think especially for us women, as mothers, we put everyone else's needs above our own. And you've got to remember that in a plane, when something happens and the oxygen masks drop, you've got to put that oxygen mask on your face first before you can help others. And it works the same with us. We need to be kind to ourselves and love ourselves, and then it's a lot easier to be kind to others. This is a good one, number 11, don't whine. We talked about this too, that as you think on negative things, then it just creates more, and that expands. Whatever you think on expands. So to whine, it just creates. This is what Jeffrey R. Holland said, and I think he might have repeated a quote from somebody else. No misfortune is so bad that whining about it won't make it worse. So no whining. Think positive and have gratitude. Think of the things that you're grateful for, and that can change the whining right away. Number 12, know and do. What we know is not always reflected in what we do. And today, what a great quote by Brad Cromer. He said, and it was in my mind, I was thinking show and tell. And what he said was, showing matters more and means more than telling. And in other words, what we do and what we show people what we do is really what says it all about us. So know and do. What we know is not always reflected in what we do. So do what you know is right, right? 13, persist. Temporary setbacks are overshadowed by persistence. And I love Joel Osment says, every setback is a setup for a comeback. So persist through. Try and find new ways of looking at things and understand that setbacks are overshadowed by persistence. You can get through when you decide to persist. 14, exercise meekness. Meekness isn't weakness. A lot of people think of this little church mouse when they hear the word meek. And no, meekness is actually humility at its greatest, most powerful strength. It says, even when we encounter mean-spirited criticism from persons who have little regard or love for us, it can be helpful to exercise enough meekness to weigh it and sift out anything that might benefit us. And someone mentioned that even Abe Lincoln had a couple people that were on his, the Congress House that were very much opposed to his way of thinking and were very much against him, but he utilized and put them on his board on purpose because he could sift through. And I've thought to myself, well, yeah, and then it's always better to have your enemies on the inside of the tent, right, than on the outside of the tent. And there's actually, I'm not going to say the actual quote because it's not appropriate, but he definitely knows best by keeping your enemies close by. Let's see, 15, remain faithful. Like the intense fire that transforms iron into steel, as we remain faithful during the fiery trial of our faith, we are spiritually refined and strengthened. And my friend, I believe in you. I know these are things that you can do to be happy. And the one that jumps out the most to me that I wanted to get on to share most of all was to love yourself and to take better care of yourself. As a mom, you absolutely deserve it. So hopefully today you're getting pampered and taken care of like you should be, and doing something that you really, really love to do today. And I just want to say I know that God appreciates all that you do, and that you are loved, and that He knows you, and that you have the most noble calling ever in the world, in the universe, in the history of all men, all mankind, I should say. So I hope that's helped you to be more happy, and remember to just keep smiling. And let's see, I think, yeah, spiritually minded is life eternal, I was told. I love acronyms, and that's SMILE. Spiritually minded is life eternal. So I hope that helps you today. Keep on smiling and make it a great day, and happy Mother's Day. And we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.